Welcome to Literary Gladiators. This is the show where I finally get to say it now, where we discuss and we debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game, as Josh would always say. So, this is another individual video by your one and only Charles Galizia. I hope you like my commentary, my input. Some of you may say, "Are you high?" No, I'm not, but still. This work I wanted to do, I think we were going to do this earlier in the season, works from Richard Matheson, but this one I want to talk about in this video. Button, who's got the button? No. Anyone remember that? Anyway. It's, in a nutshell, it's very short story. Got at the library in a whole collection. This one really rang a bell to me, and the reason I say that is because money can corrupt some people, a lot of people. It can corrupt Washington. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, still, no. There's people who will. Let's put it this way: how many of you had a traveling salesman come up to the house and say, "In this little box is a button, and if you push it, somebody in the world, anyone in the world, dies, and you get, I think it was $10,000 of cash." That's kind of what I'm telling. This is basically the story right here. Man, there's a couple. I'm assuming they're elderly, a little older. Wife, her name is Helen, and the man, the husband, his name is Harry. So obviously there's a little bit of a connection with the names, but obviously, duh. But with that, I couldn't really see anything too much. Maybe you can. Like, comment, subscribe when if you find out, or if you whatever your views are on that, just let us know what you think. But anyway, getting that out of the way. And once I read it again, and I thought it was really interesting. Basically, the last line is something along the lines like, did you really know your husband? How well do you really know your husband? Or do you really love your husband? Because here's what happens. Curiosity got the best of her. Salesman came, and she actually denied it at first. She's like, "No, go away, I don't want this. I would never do that." She was like, no. So, she leads on, and then I think it was like 3 days later she called, and she's like, "Okay, so exactly tell me a little bit more about this." And basically the salesman just says it's a button, and he said the same thing over and over again. You push it, and someone in the world, anywhere in the world, will die instantaneously. And she's like, "Well, why that?" "Well, that's how it's made," or something along the lines like that. But just kidding. Bad joke. So she's like, "Send it to me then," and she to get it in the mail or something like that, And then Harry sees it, and he's like, "What's on your mind?" Kind of like Facebook. "What's on your mind?" And then she discusses it with him, and says, "Here it is." He's like, "Well, why did you do it?" I mean, that's what I would say if I was the head of the house. Like, why would you do that? But she said, "Oh," and she puts it away. She puts it, I think, in a cardboard box under the kitchen, in the kitchen cabinet. And she puts it out of her mind. It's still there, and her husband goes off to work every day. She cooks. It's give and take. He does the hard work. He comes home. All that's just in general. That's how it usually back then. That's how it went. The wife stayed home and tended the house. The kids. I don't think there's no kids in the story, but still. We all know how this usually goes, and then hubby's out there. Back it up. No. But still, or does a nice office job, whatever. That's usually how things went back then. And she would always prepare nice foods, nice dinners for him. But she let her curiosity get the best of her. She would sit down at the table, and they actually they fought over this. Like, "Honey, it's not worth the money," because no matter where, money is always tight for some people. But he's like, "It's not worth it. Let's just send it back. Can we destroy it? And it's just, you open up the envelope, it's a little tiny button. How are you going to destroy it? Boom, you technically, and then you get the check in the mail. Or a phone call saying, yes, we're sending you a check or whatnot. I don't think they had direct deposit back then. No. But still, long story short, really, it shows what some people will do for money, because she like I said, lets her curiosity get the best of her, and she's like, oops. And then at the very, very last sentence, like I said, was last part was, how well did you really know your husband? Did you really love your husband? Something along the lines like that. So if I was to rate it on a scale from 1 to 5, if Josh would allow me to do that. So, and of course with the half stars, honestly I'd give it a 5-star rating, hands down, because it's very accessible, but also not only that, it could be an eye opener to some people. And there are times sometimes I let my ego get the best of me, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. But I would never, and I have to say to myself, hey, wait a minute, shut up. You go to church every Sunday, whatnot, this, that, and everything. Just shows, who do you love more? The money? And what are you going to do with all that money? So, or do you love your husband or your wife or whoever who's doing the best he or she can to make you happy? So, my take on this is, obviously, I would definitely read it. You can get it probably at the library. It's always in a collection. I don't have anything with me now. It's off the top of my head. You can see the smoke coming out of my ears. That's how hard I'm thinking right now. But still, that's my take on Button by Richard Matheson. I would highly recommend reading it. And if not, well, don't push any buttons, because I know I won't be. Well, that's it for me. There's a cookie over there. I'll see you later. I forgot my sticks.